Welcome back to the Unlucky Enterprise on Verdante. So, I discovered that I really shouldn't be using um, lead pipes inside of my cooling loop here for my metal refineries in here. It's caused a number of problems, mainly the uh, radiant liquid pipes that I had in here to cool off my um, metal refinery melted. They spilled a whole bunch of petroleum in here, and if I try to use them, especially if I'm refining any sort of steel, if I'm refining steel, it's just not going to handle the heat. So um, that means I'm going to have to break into here and rebuild everything that I put in here. I'm going to build it out of, I think, aluminum. Hopefully that will be fine. The problem with lead is that it's a minus 20 degrees Celsius. Um, Aluminum doesn't really have a bonus to the melting temperature. However, I'm hoping that it will be fine. Eventually, I think I'm going to want to have iron as um, all of the pipes in here at some point. For now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to break down all of this. I'm going to dig out all of the sand that has formed in here, and I am going to mop up all of the petroleum that is in here, which there is a fair chunk of it kind of spread out along there. I need to block off right here. I might wait a little bit for the temperatures to cool down in here just to avoid getting too much heat in this area. Not that it probably really matters all that much. Um, and I'm going to set up a little spot here, right there, to put in all of the petroleum that I'm going to be um, grabbing from inside of this little hotbox area, and I'm going to be piping it into or back into my cooling loop right over, or piping it back into my metal refinery. What I need to do is set this up like this. Need to snip that so it doesn't go down. I'm going to have to replace the bridge with the bridge going the opposite direction. So I'll deconstruct the bridge. And I need to give that some power. So we'll go heavy wet wire all the way down there. Yeah, this is going to be a pain. But it kind of shows the importance of using the right materials for the right job, and why materials do matter. So here, um, guess remember for next time, do not use lead pipes to create cooling loops for your metal refineries. They will not last, especially once you hit steel. They were fine doing iron. Once they hit steel, that was just not working. So I'm going to set this to a priority of, I think, about an 8, because I do want to have this dealt with pretty quickly. Then I can kind of move on to kind of more kind of other things here. All right. I'll be back in a bit once some of this has been cleaned up, and we'll kind of get things going again. I've managed to get all of the petroleum mopped out of here. I'm having this go back into the metal refinery here, hoping that that will be, let's see, 690, 635, and 110. I'm still a little short of what I would like to have for the for oh no, it looks like I probably have enough liquid in here. Oops, and this is going to increase the heat in here. Bit of a mistake. All right. Um, Good thing here. This is still a vacuum, or rather, this is still all steam. So I am in decent shape here. Um, this is currently, I have 404 and 400 kilograms of petroleum. So I think that this is pretty much full of petroleum. I don't think there's much more room for anything in here. No, 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 no. Oh, no, this is not good. I forgot to set this down to a 1, and they are building more steel, and they're going to heat this area up. Okay. Come on. Let's get this out of here. Hurry up. Deal with it. And look at that temperature. Just sitting up there. It's 200. Oh well. Let's get a couple of bottle emptiers. Put them into here. Yeah. Well, at least At least at least the steam turbine is, getting making itself useful. It's not heating up too much in here. I lie. Okay, so yeah, let's get the rest of this petroleum out of here, the lead out of here. Once that's all out, then I will seal this up again, and I will start up with probably making a whole bunch of iron so that I can pipe in the rest of these areas so that I can put more metal refineries in here. All right, I'll be back in a bit once this is all kind of sorted itself out. So everything is cleaned up in here now. I'm going to set this to 50, make a bunch of iron ore, set it to a 7 so that my duplicates get in there fairly quickly, and I'm going to then eventually put a bunch of more radiant pipes in here so that I can add a bunch more of these metal refineries. At the moment, I'm kind of, well, I'm kind of stuck with one because I just don't have enough refined materials, and I'd rather not have to use the rock crusher anymore to refine my materials. It's good for fossil and making lime, but it's really not a great way to deal with these metals, especially my aluminum, because I don't know that I'm going to get any more of it, and it's a very, very good. It's a very good for radiant pipes and things of that nature. I have a bit more, looks like, at some places in the map here, over there and here. If there's another one of these forest biomes, I think I can get some more there. Now, I have this all ready to go and all set up. Once I can make a bit more steel, I think I'm going to start going about taming maybe the saltwater geyser and probably the cool steam vent to get some water to put into my electrolyzer here. It'll come out fairly hot even if I try to cool it, but it will be it could be a good option for kind of adding more water to my um, to my um, to my supply. I'm also thinking I need to deal with this. And by deal with that, I mean get a bigger one. The oxygen generation that I'm getting from this, while it's fine, I have been noticing that, well, still hanging in there fairly well. Um, I could I could do better though, and if I'm going to extend this base much more, I'm probably going to start finding that my oxygen levels will drop if I don't go with something bigger. This guy here is a great little thing, and probably go to a full Rodriguez. These guys are massive. You have 2 electrolyzers and 6 pumps, so you're pumping out a lot of oxygen from one of those guys. So once that's done, I'll have that set up. How's my Pacu farm doing? I have not looked at it for a while. I have, I don't even know how many Pacu. It looks like a lot. I've got currently 6 fry eggs and 5 tropical fry eggs. That's a lot. I've got 5 stone hatchling eggs. I've got lots of hatchlings. I'm going to have to make another hatchling farm. So let's take a look at what's my coal at. My coal looking, where is it? Coal. 23.3 tons. So that's looking very well as well. Looking very good as well. That'll be probably used for local power in various places. All right. So I think everything is starting to look a lot more under control here. Once I've kind of dealt with a bit more of this, yeah. So and my iron is I have enough to set up another set of radiant pipes. I think I can do these ones here. So we'll do this. Boom, ba boom, ba boom, with iron. Oh, no, that is lead. I do not want to make that mistake again. Huh. Could you imagine? I just fixed the problem and then I decided to make more out of lead. Alright, so, yeah, not quite enough to do that, but I will set this up for that. Perfect. And it won't let me do that again. So all of this should end up being iron and iron. Once I've got another, I think 600, I guess, I will set that up and I'll break in here probably after I'm done refining a bit more iron there. All right, yeah, we're in a decent spot here. One thing to note, I've been just kind of ignoring everything that comes in here for the last little while because I don't really need any more duplicates for the moment. I want to try to stabilize my food. Um, for food, I've gone up to consumables here, and I'm going to change and remove all of, oops, consumables. I'm going to remove, how do I do this for everyone? New duplicates. Okay, yeah, here we go. I'm just going to remove anything that is not my barbecue or my cooked fish for eating. What this will do is this will force everyone to eat better food, and this better food, what it will do is it will increase their morale by +8. I have 97,000 kilocalories of cooked fish, and 2,000 kilocalories of barbecue. I'm not sure that this is going to be enough for everyone, so I'm going to have to monitor my supply of cooked fish and barbecue for the next little while. However, I think that it might end up being enough because I think I've got a fair chunk of paku in here to kind of get my farm to continue going. When it comes to my research, I'm at the point now where I kind of don't care what I'm going through with research. I'm kind of going and just finishing up all of these trees. I'll just go with the superheated forging. That's always kind of useful. I'm going to need to get to this eventually, and just kind of poking away at everything else that I have here. So that is kind of where things are at with research. Power-wise, I think everything is in fairly good shape. Hold on. Do I have? No, I am not producing uh, any of my any uh, petroleum, and it looks like because my refinery is overpressured. So, guess I'm gonna have to set a gas pump in here, and we will have that set up. Once that's running, I think this will start running again, and I will have I'll be able to start getting more gas coming, or more petroleum getting built up here. All right. Yeah. Oh, while I'm at it, might as well set a auto sweeper here to deal with these coal generators, because it's better to have that dealing with the coal generators than having duplicate labor dealing with it. So I'll set this up with that. Oops, going like that. Cancel that build. There. All right. That is that. Oh, and what am I using for my? Okay, that is lead. Okay, I really don't care what kind of wires it is. Lead is best because it's nice and easy to get my hands on. All right, so we'll let this run for a little bit. I've got to think of a new project. So we'll let this run while I'm thinking of my new project, and probably break this down. So I'm slowly clearing out this caustic biome over here. I think I'm going to be putting in another electrolyzer up here somewheres. Maybe I'll leave it there or put it beside. I haven't quite figured out where I want to put it, but I definitely do want to set a different electrolyzer. I have a bunch of Atmosuit docks here. Fortunately, it's going to take forever to fill them up. Oops. I guess it's going to take even longer because I don't have any piping to them. But it will take a fair bit of time because I am going one into my base, or 1,000 grams into my base, 1,000 grams into my Atmosuit docks. It's just going to take a fair bit of time to build that up. So I'm going to want to... Oops, who's confined? Why are you confined? Oh, looks like you're fine. It's going to take a little while to get that all filled up. Also, there is a geyser here, or volcano, or something. I should double check and find out what that is. I will send somebody up there to take a look. It's a geyser of some sort. It's not a vent. It's some sort of a vent, not a geyser. I think that's, yeah, geysers look like that. A vent looks like that. So it's some sort of a vent. We'll see what it is. I can dig a couple of tiles here without starting it up. If I dig this tile right here, this one right here, I'll put a ladder here to show. and then I'll deconstruct it. But this section right there will actually activate the vent. You can see here the neutronium that indicates that there is some sort of a vent. If you dig that one, it will activate. So if I don't dig that one for the moment, I will not activate it, and I'll get a good idea of what it is before I tackle it. If it's something nasty, I don't know that I want to deal with it at this point in time. I don't need it at a 9. Let's set it to a 6 so that it gets done a little bit quicker because I am curious what it is. Don't think it'll be a volcano. Now for this hot section here. I am half thinking what I want to do is vacuum out an area here and then put a steam put a steam turbine up top and just drip a bunch of water in there and let it all cool down that way. What is the thermal conductivity of 2, specific heat capacity of 0.02? This could cool down quite quickly if I do something like that. I'll have to see how that ends up looking in the end. It'll be an interesting exercise, I think. Oil refinery. I think I want to put you in here somewheres. Where? I don't know. Maybe at the bottom. But I'm going to want to clean all of this out here first. So let's maybe focus on that. Yeah. Get this all cleared out. Turn this into a little oil refinery area for the moment. I think the hope is to eventually take this volcano and make a petroleum boiler. Yeah. But these obsidian areas, I think if I just put some water in there, put a steam turbine on top to kind of delete the heat, this should fairly quickly, and maybe I need 2, but I think that this should fairly quickly cool off. If I'm understanding the mechanics of the game correctly. The obsidian will radiate heat fairly well. It will transfer the heat fairly easily to the water. And it doesn't contain a lot of heat each tile. That point 0.2 means that that's very little amount of heat that's inside of it. So if I put a little bit of water in there, it should cool it down. I don't know. We're going to experiment, see how this is going to go. I'm quite interested to see if my understanding of these mechanics works, or if my understanding of the mechanics is what I think it is. Maybe I will start with this guy here, though, because it's a little bit more convenient to get to. This water is not all that hot. But yeah, the abyssalite is not very good at cooling down. Needs a lot to cool it down. So I'll figure out how I'm going to get in there, vacuum it out initially, and then see about trying to figure out how to cool that down so I can actually use this obsidian, because it's actually a useful material to use. Yeah. And have I built up there? This is, it's a copper volcano. I think I have another volcano up here. Did I get the chance to look at that one? No. Okay. No idea what that is. I'll have to find out what that is as well. Copper ore here. Yeah, there's lots of stuff that I can, there's lots of places I can do. Lots of things I can do here. Alright. So, yeah. And I need to think of a location for this, for my second oxygen generator. So I've added a few. Atmosuit docks here to kind of increase the duplicates working down in this area here. I'm thinking what I'm going to do before I do anything else is I'm going to deal with the steam vent. Tame it a little bit so that the water coming out there is a little bit cooler than it is. Once I have done that, I think I'm going to build an electrolyzer somewhere probably about here. So we're going to go through how do I tame a steam vent. Now the big thing is it's basically using an aqua tuner. You put some polluted water in there and you siphon things off. You kind of cool off the steam that's coming out of this guy here. I'm going to keep it closed for the moment. I will eventually have to deal with it though. I think it's dormant right now. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to maybe set up the set up some of the basic things here so that it is ready to go, because at the moment I haven't noticed it doing anything for a little bit, for a couple cycles here. And if it's at the moment, if it is being, if it's not doing anything, I think I might want to go ahead and get it. Nope, that is not a good sign. Okay, well, doesn't really matter, I suppose. Um, I have Atmo suits. I'll seal it up again. And yeah, that was a bit of a mistake. Oh well, no big deal. Nobody's going to get harmed here. I'll have to think about when this is going to. I'll have to double check and find out when this guy here is going to become dormant. That's kind of the best time to deal with it. For the moment, I will get some of the area set up for this. I need some. Am I able to make diamond? Ooh, I do have diamond. So I can set some diamond temperature, some diamond window tiles there. Put a mechanized airlock there. This is going to be my heat transfer device. So what will happen is I will have some cooling going through here. The mechanized airlock will transfer the heat over to the window tile right here, which will cool off, which will be attached to the outer edge of my which will be attached to the cool steam vent. It'll be touching the cool steam vent. All the water that is in there will cool off slightly as it goes into kind of a cooling loop. I'll have a cooling loop here. It's a little complicated. We'll kind of talk a little bit about how that works as we go along. I'll kind of explain that a bit better. But this is kind of the initial kind of setup I'm going to start doing here. Hopefully it will cool off, or it will stop erupting, and I can start dealing with this cool steam vent, which has been there since pretty early on in the game. And it'll be a nice, well, probably not a lot of water out of it, but it will give me a bit, kind of help improve my oxygen generation here. So something I did in the background, I think, and I forgot to completely forgot to mention, was that I set up in here an auto sweeper to feed my critters. So I have my duplicates filling up the uh, the storage bin with sedimentary rock, and then the auto sweeper is then putting that into the critter feeders. Now, what I've also removed allow manual use so that my duplicates will not fill up the feeders; they'll just fill up the storage bin. What I also did, and I think I did this without mentioning it in a previous video. If I did, I apologize for repeating myself. I set up some conveyor rails into my Pacu farm area here, this little water area. Um, the idea behind this is that I'm going to take all the critter eggs that end up in here. They're going to go along the conveyor rails, up and up and up over to here, and any critter eggs that are brought out from my hatch farms that are above 7, and you can see I've got a couple extra, these are slightly more than 7, will go into here. And as they are sitting there, eventually they will evolve into meat and provide some meat from a duplicates to barbecue in the electric grill. It takes about 20 cycles for them to hatch, so it can take a while. Meanwhile, I think what I'm planning to do is to probably build one more hatch farm down here. This one here is in the process of taking shape. Once I have, I think, one more hatch farm, maybe 2, then I should be fine for food. I'm noticing that my cooked fish is going down more quickly than I would like, so I'm probably going to have to go back to my consumables and have my duplicates eating meal ice yet again. So I didn't give them a lot of skills. I did add a few skills to some of them just to kind of round out their exosuit training. But I have to be careful with how many skills I give them, because they will start running out of morale here eventually. So we'll just let this go. You can kind of see where things are at. The this cool steam vent. I decided, you know what? I want to analyze it, figure out when its period is, when its dormancy period is. Because once I find out when its dormancy period is, I'm going to start really working towards getting this thing tamed so that I can hook it up um, to my new electrolyzer or my new oxygen generator, which I will probably start making for the next video here. You can kind of see what it looks like and how it's going to work. It's a pretty massive beast. It can probably handle about 30 duplicants. For now, I'm happy running with just 12. So yeah, we'll let it run for a little bit. Once I've kind of got some things going here, I'll come back. So the analysis is done on this steam vent. It's going to have a dormancy in about 42 cycles, or sorry, 47 cycles, so I'm going to leave it for now. I don't really want to have to deal with this while it is erupting. It will cause some issues with regards to um, any sort of uh, ventilation that I put in here. So for now, I'm going to leave it. I might decide... when is it going to erupt next? It's going to erupt right away here. You know what? Do I want to risk it? Yeah, maybe I will. You know what? I'm going to just leave it as is for the moment. I'm going to put in um, a gas pump. I'm going to make it out of gold amalgam, which I don't even have. Okay, I'm going to hold off for the moment. Yeah, that's too bad. All right, once I have something other than, well, yeah, once I have some gold amalgam, because otherwise, yeah, everything's just going to overheat, which will be a big pain. Yeah, all right, so we'll leave it for now. Here, I'm just clearing out some stuff. I'm gonna turn this into a vacuum in here with the hopes of eventually getting um, um, trying to figure out how to cool this down. This is going to be a bit of an experiment. I have not done this before. I haven't even looked at a tutorial on this, so this could go horribly, horribly wrong. In fact, I kind of half expect it to, which it will be, I think, the kind of the exciting thing here. Why are these poke shells not going over there? There's too many. All right, so let's just go here. Pneumatic door. Pneumatic. Hold on. Let's set this up. We'll set 2 pneumatic doors, one on top of the other. I can put my poke shells in this little area. They will then be in there, and I can just not have to deal with them. At this point in time, they're a bit of a pain to deal with, and I don't want to. So let's get this dealt with here. Set it to priority 7 so that it's done quickly. And yeah, let's get all of this mopped up as well. This is going to be a very interesting adventure, I think. Okay, so this hot area here, I am going to try to start dealing with it. Creating a liquid lock here using, not petroleum, crude oil. I'm going to put crude oil in here. The next step will be to vacuum this whole area out. It will take a little bit of time, but I kind of don't care. We will just see how this ends up going in the end. I really want to see how this ends up working in the end. This could be a kind of disastrous experiment, or it could work really, really well. I'm very curious to find out whether or not my understanding of the game has gotten me to the point where I can start dealing with something like this. I think the most important thing is once I vacuum this out, my duplicants can walk on these hot tiles because it's not going to affect them too much. I don't think if there's any sort of air in here, that'll heat up and cause problems for my duplicants, but if they don't have any kind of atmosphere in here, they should be fine. The plan, I think, will be to set up a couple of steam turbines going up along here. I don't think I need anything to cool. I will probably need to have an aqua tuner to cool them down. That is probably going to be needed because that will be too hot, and I don't think that the water coming out of the steam turbines is going to be able to cool the steam turbines down enough. So we'll start doing this experiment probably in the next video. yeah, I'm really looking forward to seeing how this looks. At this point in time, this video is looking to be about the 20-minute or so mark. So this video, I managed to fix this up, got this analyzed. I'll start dealing with this pretty quick here, maybe next video or the video after, I think. But I really want to see how this ends up looking in the end. So, hope you had a good time, and